Hello everyone, I'm Nigel Saunders, and today we're going to be working on my lemon tree. It's been just over 2.5 years since this tree was repotted. Today I'll be working on the upper structure of the tree and then repotting it. I want to grow the tree for the summer, but I also want to keep the upright trunks in balance, so one trunk doesn't get too thick compared to the others. The first operation I'm going to do today is to defoliate the tree. There's some new growth just starting to come in quite a few places on the tree, so it's due for another growth spurt. So it's a good time to prune the tree back and then allow that new growth spurt to come in. All the leaves on the tree now are large indoor leaves. As you can see, they're almost the size of my hand. By removing all the leaves and having new leaves grow in, they'll be a lot smaller. So here I go, I'm going to defoliate the tree. Always smells nice when you're pruning it. You want your eye to go from the soil level, curve up into the trunk, and up the tree to the branches. So that's the top, combed out pretty nicely. I'm going to flip it over now and start on the bottom. The roots aren't actually too packed in here. They're actually at a nice level. You can see I can comb them easily. They're not jam-packed in that I have to use a saw or anything to loosen them up. Just, gentle raking with the root rakes, getting them all loose and flowing. One thing you won't pick up on the video is the nice smell, that citrusy smell I'm getting right now, which just adds to the enjoyment of pruning your lemon bonsai. I'm going to give the roots a wash now. I've washed the roots and now it's time to do a detailed combing. Getting them all untangled and raked out. You can see some roots have gotten quite long and have grown with a lot of vigor. So we want to balance the root system just like we balance the top of the tree. Pruning our thickest roots hard and letting the finer ones grow. The roots are quite nice, flat and radial. I think we did a good job root pruning this tree last time. I'm going to start the root pruning on the bottom. There's a lot of roots that have grown down and across the center of the root base that can be pruned off. Like that one. That one. And I'm just pruning them roughly for now, and then we'll go in and clean it all up. And another thick one here. A big long root. Any roots growing straight down from the base of the tree, I want to remove. I want all my surface roots to do all the work feeding the tree, and that way you get a nice trunk flare. Still a few congested areas here that I've got to fix. Just getting rid of all the downward facing roots, keeping our nice radial roots. Getting a flat root base on the bottom, and the top will curve gently into the soil. Comb out our roots again from the top. Okay, so the rough root pruning's done now. Now we got to go in and do all our detail work on it. Give it a water. Make sure they stay nice and moist. Okay, here I go now in the detailed work. Let's start with this root. It comes out from the trunk. It kind of snakes around. And it's got a root that's kind of growing in and across here that I'm going to remove. There we go. I've got another root that's beside it here that kind of grows underneath, so we definitely want to encourage it to grow on this side. Just going to untangle all these. There. They're growing quite well. There's a root growing on top here I don't like. Over here, I'm going to remove it. like that. I want to get these roots to flow into the ground, so I don't want anything sticking up too high on it. This root here is starting to get a little thick on the end. I remember last root pruning, I took quite a piece off the side here, and that's healing over nicely. There's a root here I can remove. I eventually want to get this root base to the rule of one root dividing into two, and I have it one dividing into a whole bunch here. This root certainly is quite long. It could be cut back so we get subdividing earlier on in the root base. It does dip down a little here, so we could prune it off there. Get rid of this whole long section here.